Welcome back.
0 seconds of credits. Let's go! Sin removals and strippers for all! Yahoo!
Don't forget to stay around to the very end for a great big surprise.
Teasing your mid-credits and post-credits before you've even finished your pre-logos does not get you extra credit. Comcast. Flashback happens in the 80s because if some part of your movie didn't take place in the only decade that ever mattered, audiences won't give a cliche. The fact that there is only one kid on this dope-ass pirate ship, Vendettas harbored through graduation, would start here and now in the attempt to conquer it. A new set of ignorable Geneva Conventions would be written based on the plastic ball atrocities fought in its name. And there's zero chance these kids are f***ing around drawing.
You seriously just gonna sit here till the trap door's open?
Leave her alone. She does this every time she's here.
Servers who pride themselves on delivering only the best, cliche-fed, 100% pure exposition burgers.
Ew. Tastes like gasoline.
I'm honestly more curious now how Charlotte knows what gasoline tastes like.
Charlotte! Don't.
Vanessa here knows exactly what kind of murder is going on behind the scenes, and yet this is the only protest she can muster to save poor Charlotte, who, by the way, we will find out is her best friend. I suppose the people who actually make this place a viable business, like the staff preparing the pizzas or the servers we saw earlier, just never go through this unlocked door meant for staff down this hall and through this equally unlocked door where child murder happens. There are lots of movie clues here that I'm supposed to care about this creepy marionette. Sadly, all I'm seeing is a discount Billy the Puppet by way of Jim Henson with a quick detour through Spirited Away. The credit gives the impression that Wayne Knight is playing the marionette, and I will stand firm to the idea that this not being the case is a colossal missed opportunity. Also, 38 seconds of news position, and I'm not counting the 8-bit cutaways, which extend it to a 1 minute and 48 second experience. Oh, apparently I am. How exactly does entering a restricted area clear Fazbear's of wrongdoing? How does one get accidentally stabbed in the back 3 times? Unless it wasn't an accident, and we're saying that Fazbear's is a stand-your-ground restaurant.
Jeremiah's on his way over to help me keep painting the new house.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2's first attempt at improving upon its predecessor is by threatening us with watching paint dry. And my friends, that might just work.
We're just friends.
Then why are you going on a date?
It's not a date.
Too much of this first act will be spent on the "it's not a date" cliche. The date could have 17 excessive drug use, strippers, lap dances, graphic sex, and a singular nipple. And this movie would still be PG-13 purely because of how dull it is. We have been informed multiple times now that painting will be happening in this room, and yet there is still wallpaper to be removed from this archway.
People are obsessed with that old pizzeria.
The movie being more than happy to point out the absurdity of its premise that people are indeed obsessed with that old pizzeria.
Yeah, I heard they had you uncommitted, by the way.
Which is code for the first movie did well, but not get Mary Stuart Masterson back for the sequel well.
My friends, the animatronics are broken. Mike says that he'll fix them someday, but he's been saying that for a while now.
What does Abby think the ghost kids are doing in the meantime? Just hanging around, waiting for their animatronic vessels to be repaired? Why does she think that repairing them will even bring the ghost kids back? And if she does believe that, she should be f***ing furious with Mike the Slacker for leaving them in Ghost Kid Waiting for My New Robot Body limbo.
You're planning on showing whatever this is Saturday at the science fair. Certainly I don't have to remind you how important this event is to the school.
I'm now curious what the hell is actually expected at a robotics fair from a group of middle schoolers. Because whatever Abby has concocted seems to be highly advanced for an 11-year-old in 2002.
I don't think you will be ready. Miss Schmidt, robotics isn't for everyone.
If you personified every Stephen King bully cliche into a Wayne Knight-shaped body and put that personification through 50 years of torture, then wrap them in a sweater vest and unleash them on a classroom of kids, it might look like this.
I'm surprised you haven't tried to fix your friends yourself.
I'm sorry, what? Daniel did see this happen, right?
I'm leaving a 20 on the table, so you can order pizza.
The fact that there was a time when $20 would get you a pizza, including tip. Who knew how good we had it in the 90s? Even with having to listen to Savage Garden on the radio all the f***ing time. Because of those assholes, I still can't stop myself from ordering a Chicka-Chiricola.
Now, one day, I'm gonna go fix them, but until then, maybe you could try making some friends with some real kids.
As I find my attention drifting from this conversation to stare at the drywall, I have to ask, what did Mike and Jeremiah spend the whole f***ing day painting? Because it wasn't this f***ing room, and the arrival of this fully furnished unit suggests they're done decorating.
My friends are real kids.
Mike isn't brave enough to respond with, they were real kids.
Don't watch too much of that show, it'll give you nightmares.
Says the big brother who still entertains his sister with the idea that one day she will again get to hang out with her murdering ghost friends.
I even made some friends.
Friends? What's that like?
Mike is addicted to Jeremiah.
Pardon my reach, madam.
They love doing that here.
Only because people like you refuse to use a f***ing plate. Also, I do not believe this is something any restaurant actually does. I can confirm that because I researched it while this movie was scooping bread off of a table and not painting a living room.
Abs, I'm back.
not seeing the outline of this paper through the glass of the door you're opening.
You have 1 million tickets. What can I get you?
The reality is that 1 million tickets at an establishment like this would get you a small rubber ball and a stick of gum.
I thought you liked orange gummy candy.
She probably just has this weird thing about not eating orange gummy candy that's been sitting in an abandoned pizza arcade for 2 decades. Even though Mike is trying to put all this Fazbear stuff behind them, he randomly sees this flyer and decides to actually call the number because I guess he needs to get the story moving?
You sure I'm going the right way?
If you are working on being random extra murder fodder so this movie can up its body count, then yes, you are definitely headed the right way. The odds of being typecast as a paranormal investigator aren't high, but McKenna Grace sure does seem determined to beat those odds.
You must be Mike.
It's Michael, actually.
Get this. This Michael is a big deal because we'll find out he's the son of Matthew Lillard's William Afton. Michael Afton appears in the video games, which is why this Michael reveal is, well, presented as a reveal. The only problem is that Michael Afton in the video games also uses the fake name Michael Schmidt, which is the full name of the Josh Hutcherson Michael in these movies who has nothing to do with the video game. Are you following that? No? Good, because it's f***ing ridiculous.
You're cool if we record everything?
Waiting until you're this deep into a video project before confirming you can video it. Also, it's wild to me that this is the entirety of the production crew for what we know is an actual TV show. Unless the movie is saying that Abby was streaming this video from a YouTube-like website to her TV in 2002.
A marionette would come out of this trap door on the stage and direct the other animatronics during performances.
Using a wireless signal. The technology was way ahead of its time.
It was also redundant as shit. There's no need for the marionette to have a wireless signal directing the other characters when you can just wave the marionette's hands around while the animatronics dance and play, and no one would be able to tell the difference, especially not kids who are likely hallucinating from a sugar high anyway. I don't know what Kubrick over here thinks he's filming, but it looks to be a screen full of plastic sheeting. I'm not suggesting Lisa can't handle herself, but I am suggesting that following the sound of a creepy music box melody by herself that only she can hear in this dark, creepy restaurant is fucking stupid.
What kind of kid would want to come here?
Rob would be excellent at creepy kids-themed restaurant sins. It's really strange that none of the contractors questioned why William wanted a fucking dungeon underneath his restaurant. Just saying, there were a lot of goddamn signs that William was a fucking kid killer. Lisa could hear this small music box from upstairs in the restaurant, and sure, ghost magic, but why waste it on making someone hear music that they may or may not follow to the source? Shit, indeed. And I recommend getting out of the water perhaps many minutes ago.
Welcome back, Charlotte.
So that's the ghost of the girl who was murdered at the beginning of the movie, but why is she inhabiting Lisa and not the marionette or one of the other animatronics, as all the other ghost kids do? What, can Charlotte inhabit a person but no one else can?
I miss you all so much.
Skip. Movie knows it's still 25 minutes away from its self-imposed 1 kill per 30 minutes quota, so decides to have one of its protagonists hallucinate a Freddy, like some sort of force-fed jump scare aperitif. Journal, mirror, toy airplane callback, excitement, spoilers!
I am nothing like you.
Jesus, how many rooms are in this house? I need to get me into the animatronic pizzeria business.
I'm not done with you.
The exact thing Scream 7 said to Matthew Lillard somehow makes it into the script.
Abby, help us.
Since we will find out this Fazbear and magic shit is coming from Charlotte's side of things, how exactly does that work? Charlotte doesn't even know who Abby is. And the movie decides it's fine to just leave all this nonsense up to our imagination. And here are 5 nights of sins that the movie can f*** off with.
Where are you?
Come find me.
How did Charlotte direct Abby here? Abby's instinct would be to go to her Freddy Fazbear's, not this original location she knows nothing of, which means there's an entire missing sequence where the marionette either directed her here through a series of well-timed digital arrows or invented Google Maps.
Haven't you ever played hide and seek? First rule is always check behind the doors.
Abby assuming that everyone in the world is at all times playing a non-consensual game of hide and seek. Someone should tell John Anderton.
You made this all by yourself?
Well, no. Chica helped. Freddy tried, but his fingers were too fat.
But Chica the giant chick duck is, of course, famous for having the dexterity of a concert pianist.
You said Freddy and Chica helped you.
Yeah, in their old house, last night.
Abby volunteers this information very quickly, despite knowing that pursuing her speak and talk toy on a midnight bike ride to an abandoned Freddy Fazbear's to reunite with some possessed animatronics might be something Mike would object to.
She said she's been with Freddy and Chica.
Yeah, this toy she has.
No, she said she saw them. She said she went somewhere.
Mike dismisses Vanessa's suspicions that Abby has snuck out, a thing she's already done this week, purely because the movie is desperate to shoehorn in some tension between these two. I want to say people, but I'm seeing little evidence that they actually exist.
He told me about his little girl and her best friend, Vanessa. Why didn't you tell me that there were other victims, other kids?
expecting Vanessa to share a deeply personal and traumatic story that the writers only just came up with.
I'm trying to fix the situation from Abby. I'm trying to fix you.
Mike survives this. Sorry it's taken so long to ask. I guess I've just been gripped by a thrilling narrative, but why does the chicken have teeth?
I know what you want. You want to get out of here so that you can hurt people.
Vanessa assuming that Charlotte is out for a murder binge instead of just exercising a desire to not be trapped in the body of a possessed marionette.
But you still have me trapped here, somehow.
It's called a perimeter lock. None of the animatronics can leave.
Why is Vanessa going through the effort of maintaining this place? Couldn't stripping everything down for parts or simply bulldozing the place down have taken care of all that and left a lot less up to chance? Considering Mike dropped Abby off at the science fair and was coming back, where the f did Abby get her bike?
I'll be your science project.
Luckily for Charlotte, Mr. Berg gave Abby a reason to free her and the animatronics from their prison. Newman. Abby doesn't find it at all suspicious that Chica has the dexterity to assemble a 1:25 scale replica of herself, but lacks the digits to type in a passcode.
You did? You gotta be kidding me.
I know, right? I mean, somewhat funny callback and all, but what are the chances they would get the exact same driver they had in the last movie when Abby had to transport an animatronic? I'm willing to guess not likely at all.
Oh my goodness.
Again, Abby not thinking that this sudden change of demeanor and facial geography isn't a terrifying turn of events that she should take notice of. Unless we're doing some kind of wacky timeline stuff, it looks like Mike has just arrived at Charlotte's dad's house. Meanwhile, Abby has had her project destroyed, cycled to the other Freddy's, talked to Chica, unlocked the perimeter lock, and called a cab. So when Mike said,
I said to go do something real quick, but I'll be back before it starts.
he was peddling bullshit to the highest magnitude. Having Billy Loomis and Stu Macher back in the same movie again, but not giving them one goddamn scene together. I get that William is supposed to be dead, but everyone for not even trying.
I had my suspicions about what had really happened, but it wasn't until years later when those 5 children went missing that I knew she was murdered.
Once and for all, I would love to know what story Fazbear's peddled that had the media, general public, and the father of the murdered daughter convinced that the 3 stab wounds were an accident.
I can only assume that you lost someone as well.
Why would he assume that? Sure, Mike lost a brother, but he didn't lose him at a Freddy's. This isn't a group therapy session for Freddy Fazbear survivors. This is a scene exclusively designed to tell Mike that Abby is missing, damn it.
There was only one at the first Freddy's. None of the later locations had one.
First Freddy's.
I swear if someone announces a first Freddy's prequel, I'll send it. But I'll be really rather irritated.
And you're sure she isn't there?
I'm so sorry, sir. Apparently there was some sort of incident and she left.
Jesus, they know that she stormed off and didn't contact her guardian? Hang up your paint roller, Mike. You'll be able to hire a fleet of decorators to not paint that room after you sue the school's asses for negligence.
I made this music box for Charlotte when she was just a baby. The music had helped her sleep.
It's wild that this act of sentimentality is the one thing that will end up stopping Marionette Charlotte. I mean, unless her dad knows she's hanging out at Freddy's as a ghost, but surely he'd be hanging out there with her, right?
I just want to see what's going on inside of his head.
No one thinks twice about this super creepy shit that Chica just said. It would have been super awkward if Mr. Berg understandably kept walking and completely missed that Chica was in this 100% pitch dark room. Considering how fast these animatronics can go, I have no idea how they have claimed a single victim. At least Michael Myers had the advantage of not being an 8-foot metallic chick ducking thing. Not sure how Chica will be able to see what's going on inside Mr. Berg's head if she completely crushes it. Geez, Chica, it's almost like you're just a murdering liar.
There's just one ghost here, and the marionette.
Charlotte.
But why is Charlotte still there? She even had a human bodysuit in Lisa that she could have wandered outside to the real world in.
But there's this music box that kept her asleep.
If only you just so happened to pay her dad a visit and he just so happened to gift you, a stranger, an exact music box that will put her to sleep. Water that acts like quicksand. I don't know why else every character that falls into this river seems so reluctant to leave it. It's pointless cameos like this that just leave me feeling deflated.
What does she want?
My father killed her, but she doesn't blame him. She blames the parents.
With this movie and Black Phone 2, Blumhouse was seriously doubling down on ripping off the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise in 2025.
It seems like the marionette needs something or someone to bond to in order to move around. I'm afraid it might target Abby next.
But why Abby? Why does the marionette need to change bodies? She already had Lisa, and she had access to you, and you've got a gun.
You go into town, find Charlotte, and just try to buy me as much time as you can, and I'll try to disconnect the signal from here.
How does Mike know that this system is just going to have a series of click menus that allow you to view the location of the animatronics? Why did it take a poster epiphany to do this?
We can use these.
These walkie-talkies have been charging for all this time that the restaurant has been shut down, and they still work perfectly.
Hey, how do I close the door?
There isn't a door.
There isn't a door? What kind of idiot designed this place?
Movie will wink and nod at video game design, but seems fundamentally opposed to actually spending 5 nights at Freddy's.
I don't know. Seems kind of fake to me.
Kids. I figured Freddy Charlotte picked this house because it belonged to the parents of one of the kids from the party she died at, but the movie gives us no evidence of that. This appears to be a house picked at random, with no idea if these two people even have kids to be letting down.
How is there not a door?
If only you had access to some kind of CCTV system that would allow you to track where the animatronics are as they creep toward you. Man, that would make a pretty fun game. Either Vanessa completely missed the fact that a giant animatronic fox was on top of her truck, or Foxy here silently jumped onto the car as it drove away. To both I say, nope. The movie wasn't sure how to get Vanessa out of this situation, so it stopped trying and just had her drive away from it. Commercials for Faz Fest are playing on the TV the night of the festival, which has to be at least fairly close to being over. Wasting food. Okay, if a slow-walking giant robot bear with a gun comes into my house, I'm probably going to cower in fear, but that's mainly because of the gun. This guy I'm just running from.
Please. That worked.
Stop talking to your animals and go to sleep.
Debbie's mom could hear Debbie talking, but not Bonnie, whose voice was easily 3 times as loud as Debbie's. Building animatronics that can be this easily disabled, especially when you consider they were first built to be around a bunch of kids hopped up on sugar and winning tickets. How is it remotely possible a giant animatronic like this could sneak up on anyone? Did they secretly train as ninjas in the past?
It's not working.
Okay, but why is it suddenly not working? What's even more impressive than Mike getting the signal turned off right before he is attacked is that both Foxy and Bonnie had their attack plans synced up several miles away from each other.
You know, it looks like you might be needing a good lawyer.
Damn it! I totally missed my cue to whoop and cheer that the shitty lawyer from the first movie is back for this cameo. I'm such a dick. Now that we're building toward the finale, the computer suddenly decides to bring up the map itself, even though every other time Mike has had to go through the menus manually to find the next robot.
Where is it?
It's at my house.
The marionette.
I'm gonna head there right now.
If only we were having this conversation on some sort of portable communication device that would allow you to talk while simultaneously walking to your next destination. A kind of walkie-talkie, if you will. Let's break this down. The marionette absorbed the ghost of Charlotte after she died, either by design or act of God, who the knows. Charlotte is then trapped in the marionette for 20 years and decides not to possess Vanessa for whatever reason or act of God, who the knows. But she can possess other people, turning them into marionette hybrids. Hybrids that are, for reasons unknowable or act of God, who the knows, still unable to escape Freddy. And how does Charlotte overcome this? By unpossessing the one person she's been able to possess and shoving herself in marionette form inside the body of a robot chicken so she can possess an 11-year-old. What?
They're turning back on. The signal's been reactivated. We're outmatched. We need more help.
I still have no idea why they're outmatched. I feel like I would have a pretty good shot against them with a baseball bat and a 10-minute warm-up. Also, let's not worry about silly little things like how they get reactivated. Clearly, God works in mysterious ways, and I've been a very naughty girl.
I've got an idea.
Instead of going back to his house, where he knows that the marionette could be killing or possessing Abby, he does a 180 back to the Freddys from the first movie to try and resurrect the original ghost kids by shouting at them?
If any of you ever really cared about her, you're gonna help her right now!
Guilt-tripping dead kid ghosts, and it f***ing works.
Please, I can't do this alone.
All of the evidence to date suggests that you can.
My radiator's busted. I don't know what to do. I can't get to Abby.
Vanessa?
Jeremiah X Machina! Fortunately, the marionetting is completely reversible with no consequences. Cool. Glad I was almost worried about Abby, and sucks to be McKenna Grace, I guess.
Hi, sis.
I know this is supposed to be a great dun-dun-dun moment, but it's not. You've got to give us at least some semblance of an idea that there was a brother or other family member that might show up. Might as well have Nev Campbell come out of the shadows and say, Mrs. Loomis? It would have literally the same effect.
It's the perfect cover. We're all just gonna blend right in.
Are you? Because one animatronic who walked out in the street garnered immediate attention and shock. Also, what's the plan here? Blend in and then start killing people? Because you'll blend in for a few minutes and then be pretty f***ing obvious as the only 8-foot animatronics killing fools.
You can have a normal life. We could have a normal life.
Except for the part where, at the very least, he's an accessory in 3 murders.
Half of this town will be dead by morning.
How? How are they going to throttle enough people for this to be in any way worth the trouble? Michael's plan is to Thanos the population of this town using 4 animatronic robots who travel at the speed of a unicycle with a puncture. Also, he fed Charlotte a Lisa, presumably to wake her up. But how did he know that would lead to Charlotte freeing the animatronics? Or that it would happen in time for FazFest? And why wouldn't he just torture his sister for the perimeter lock that he, for no good reason, apparently doesn't have?
Break their bones.
crush them.
I'm guessing Michael is the one who reactivated them after Mike shut them down, which is why he can control them now. But to be honest, I'm pretty fucking tired of guessing how everything in this Swiss cheese mess of a plot works. I gotta say, the idea of the old animatronics doing battle against the new shiny bots is fun. And this is the best scene of the movie. Just a shame it didn't happen 90 fucking minutes ago.
They weren't made to leave Freddy's.
Just to last long enough to get over at Abby's house on the off chance some more evil versions of them were trying to kill her. It's a neat trick.
I won't be able to hold him anymore. He'll get out eventually.
Playing the fucking pronoun game was something that is clearly very important for Mike to know when your ephemeral existence is mere seconds away from decohesion. Movies with cliffhangers. Movies aren't fucking TV shows, people. So does this mean they just left Matthew Lillard's corpse sitting in the restaurant this whole fucking time? Because that is all kinds of fucked.
This message is intended as a warning.
A warning that too many films these days just don't know when to fucking end. Get your possessed animatronics off my lawn.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Speaking of balls, check out my stinky ball pit. It's nice and cozy in here.
Hello?
Z105.
And we're back!
Mike, what time is it?
5:44 in the AM.
All I'm saying is, she's got crazy eyes, Mike.
The eyes, they're crazy.
I'm surprised you haven't tried to fix your friends yourself.
Light bulb. You could try making some friends with some real kids.
My friends are real kids.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I am nothing like you.
Surprise, Sydney. I'll be right back.
Chica!
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die! I would like to talk to you about Abby's project, Mr. Berg.
All right, go ahead and hit me, Seinfeld. I got witnesses.
Hey, we're on the way to the costume contest. You want to come?
This is not a costume. These are my clothes.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I'm so happy because I'm a gummy bear, gummy bear.